Hello everyone, and welcome back to another great episode of the Black Marriage Effect podcast, where we discuss black love, marriage and relationship. I'm your host Nancy, and I'm here to help you guys have peace, love and harmony in your marriage. Now guys, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe so every time I drop a video you guys will be the first to know. Now today we've got an amazing guest with us, a good friend / big sis. We've got Dayna. Hey Dayna.
Hey Nancy, hey everybody.
How are you? You okay?
Yes man, full of the joys of sun.
Good. I know it's sun up in St. Vincent because that's where she lives now. I'm so jealous. Not in the UK anymore. But yeah, so hopefully we can come and visit once all this corona stuff.
Anytime, the door's open.
Yeah, I can't wait to come. I know you have. I've been waiting as well. Okay, cool. So let's get straight into it. So as you know, we're going to discuss, marriage dynamics, your opinions, your experience and things like that. So growing up, let's take it all the way back. Not too back because you're not that old. But so growing up, what were your family dynamics?
Well, unfortunately, my family dynamic was that my mum was bringing up 3 of us on her own. And why I say unfortunately, aside from the very obvious, being in an environment where there's only one parent, there's always going to be more stress.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate because people generally learn to recreate what happens in their environment.
Yeah.
Through it's not about desire, passion or will. We're very hardwired as human beings just to kind of rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
So I did up seeing, healthy, successful relationships, how you deal with challenge, how you pick the right partner, how you coexist together. Yeah.
That's so true. So going on to my next question, which flows nicely into it, Stephen is talking about things that you pick up. Do you think your family dynamic had contributed to you not being successful with your first child's father?
Yeah, 100%. I think if we take it back, well, not too far back, so I'm not that old. I'm a poet and you didn't even know it. One of the crucial for having a successful relationship is in the picking, right? And on reflection, we just weren't ever going to be compatible. Okay. Because I really understand there's an art form to relationships. Yeah. Acquiring and the maturation of a relationship is a skill, right? And I didn't learn those skills, as I was saying before, because that's not what I observed when I was growing up. So essentially, I like to call it my pick meter was off. He's not a bad person, I'm not a bad person. We just weren't compatible with one another. Yeah. And I think for people who either didn't see it or, because there are some people that I speak to that come from married families, they know how to forgive them because the science wasn't passed down to them and taught to them. So that was the entire reason, apart from situations and circumstances in that relationship, but that relationship just never would have worked because we were not compatible with one another. And I feel too many people go into relationships, long-term relationship, having children, marriage, without assessing their compatibility for one another, and they're led by sexual attraction and desire, which is important. If you're going to sustain something for a lifetime, that's not the most important thing. Yeah. It's generally we lead from there.
Yeah, no, that's so true. Because like with me, I was brought up with both my parents in the house. They're still together today, thank God. But I learned a lot from both of them and how they maneuvered and kind of took that into my marriage and stuff like that. And I do understand as well from a lot of my friends or people that I know that do come from single parent homes. One of them has even told me like she wasn't really taught how to be a wife, but it's a subconscious thing because you don't necessarily think, my parents aren't teaching me this, but growing up and being at a certain age, upon reflection you realise that, oh, hold on, because obviously they've come from a single parent family, then that's literally the lineage or the habits that they've kind of pursued and taken on themselves. So now, how long have you been married for to Raheem?
So it'll be 9 years in August.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
The years are just flying by. And just to kind of pick up on your point about kind of what you see and what you don't see.
Yeah.
I was be a strong, independent woman.
Yeah.
Great for some things, but in the relationship department, it's like the antichrist to having a successful relationship, right? Because you need to learn how to be interdependent on one another.
Yeah.
If you're raised to be independent, you're raised to shoulder everything by yourself. That is not compatible with being in a relationship, and that's something that over the years I've had to learn and grow into and make many mistakes and come to the place where I am, and I'm still growing in that domain as well.
Amazing. Yeah, aren't we all? I guess it doesn't stop at marriage, does it? So before you got married, did you have any expectations of what your marriage would be like when you knew that Raheem was the one?
If you had asked me probably 2 to 3 years before I got married, I would have said to you, married? Who's getting married?
Married? What is married?
What? Yeah, nice, but I was more on a long-term relationship vibe. But the difference in time between when I decided that my relationship would be, my next relationship would be marriage, and when I met my now husband was about 4 months.
So within 4 months, within 4 months of meeting him, knowing him, you realised that this is the man that I'm going to marry?
No, because my previous relationship, we departed 4 months before I met my husband. That was when I made the decision. The next relationship, I'm going to be getting married.
Okay, I understand.
And then, within about 2 weeks of meeting Raheem, I knew that he was the one.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. So what made you know that he was the one? What boxes did he tick for you?
So within that 4 month period, I was completely chill. I was like, right, that relationship didn't work, but I really did the biggest deep dive and self-examination into myself I've ever done. Yeah. And in that, I responsibility for things where I was remiss, for the decisions that I made, for the behaviours that I displayed. And I sat down with a piece of paper and I wrote down, as a woman, what do I have to offer a potential partner? Like, who am I and who can I be to this person that we can complement? Then I made another list of the things that I required based on the person that I am. And then I made a list of things that, would be nice to have, and then some things, if they come along, great, but if not. But my non-negotiables were non-negotiable, and they were all about values, character, what will we be building as a family, those types of things. It wasn't what you look like, how much money you have, all of those things. I'm not saying those things are not important. So nobody wants to be, with somebody that they have no attraction to or that has no ability to provide for them. Yeah. Not only did he tick all of the requirements, he ticked all of the pretty much extras that I put it at that time. And then he bought, I had never even thought about, but just blew my mind. Yeah. So I knew within the weeks, this is the person for me.
Wow, that's amazing. So from someone that's been married for 9 whole years, what 5 things do you think women should look for when they're picking that husband or potential long-term partner?
The first thing that I think women make a mistake of is that we come from a perspective of what we require. And Nancy and I had a conversation about this whole, what do you bring to the table, Milan?
Oh yeah, we did, didn't we?
As individuals, we fit together in a way, and we coexist. We have our differences, we have our similarities, and we have values. Yeah. So I'll use as an example. One of the partners I previously had was not very adventurous, was not very outgoing, was completely opposite to me. And it's not that we need to be doing the same things or doing the same things, but I needed to be with somebody who would allow me to be me. So that is like, I want to go on holiday, or I'm going to go and meet up with, male friends that I've had for ages. Yeah. I could not be with somebody who was insecure or wouldn't vibe with those types of things. Yeah. And thinking about who it is that we're going to fit with, we need to start from the inside out. Yeah. Right? So we're examining ourselves. We're also examining what type of life do I want to have. how would I fit with somebody else, and come from that position first. If you can get that bit right, then when you come to that individual, it's more likely that you can have a meeting of minds. The next thing I will say in terms of advice is you really need to look at their generational patterns in their family.
That's very true.
And that's not to say, you know, my husband's parents were married, mine weren't. So that's not to say, oh, you can never coexist and build something great with somebody. But they need to be healed enough from anything negative that's happened to make it work with you.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm married, so I'm not in the big pool. But I made a commitment, for example, that I would never again have a relationship with somebody who had mummy issues. Not that the mum needs to be perfect.
Yeah.
But when you have a love-hate relationship with your mother and you're a man, you will transpose how you are with your mother into your intimate relationships.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. So
we need to be taking account of people's character, their attitude, their generational patterns. Health is a very big thing. Many people are walking around, look fine, hair scars and trauma underneath, right? And again, it's not to say that we can't work with somebody, because regardless of what background we come from, we will come with our baggage in inverted commas.
Yeah.
But we need further enough down the road that this family that we're creating can be self-sustained. And we need to know people's physical health profiles. So do you have sickle cell in your family, anemia, trait? And this is another reason why when we have disbanded and broken families, it can be quite dangerous, because you don't know the health profile from a physical, spiritual, intellectual, and I always say patterning. I hate that phrase, generational curse. It's not curse. Because curse is like, oh, we can't do anything about it. It's just
patterns. No, definitely. Yeah, no, that's very. Those are some key points in there, and especially with the trauma side of things as well, because a lot of, you know, I guess a lot of us have traumas in some way or another, and I guess it's a thing whereby as well, if you don't know what your partner's trauma is, then you can easily trigger it, and that could definitely cause conflict in you know, marriages and relationships. So how do you and Raheem complement each other?
Oh gosh, we could be here all day.
Yeah, we got time.
We were at a friend's house a couple of days ago, and we were asked to do something because we went to visit one of our friends' mothers. And she said, oh, can you put this up for me?
Yeah.
And Raheem kind of went to put it up, and then I went to put it up, and he said, no, just adjust it a little bit. Put it over there. You know, you put that hook up, and then you put that hook up. And I thought that if for anyone who's been a fly on the wall, that kind of sums us up very much.
Yeah.
We're very much kind of where he's quite skilled. He's an amazing teacher.
Yeah.
You know, an amazing motivator. Somebody who's able to take things that are incredibly complicated and make them very, very, very simple. So very, very technical, very analytical, very logical. And then I come in with the very kind of intuitive, very in touch with my emotional side.
Yeah.
He's a little bit more thoughtful. I'm a little bit more like, okay, let's get this done. Let's kind of go this up. So in those ways, we very much complement each other, because if we have a problem to solve, he comes from the very kind of analytical, logical, and I come from the kind of visionary, intuitive side, and we really make it work.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Yeah, that's really nice. And I can definitely, you know, seeing, like, I've been around both of you together, so I can definitely see how that works. So what advice would you give women with children who are not with, you know, the father of their child, but they do want to get married at some point in their lives?
Yeah, the first thing you need to do is to sit down and take out a pen and paper and be very forensic about this. This is not about emotion, right?
Okay.
Again, I've convicted myself and said I'm a very emotional person.
Yeah.
But I've marked the ability of letting my emotion work for me as opposed to against me. So previously, when I was on my own, my emotion was working against me. Sit down, paper, look at the, you know, major relationships that you've had, especially if you've had children, your children's father, and write down all the reasons from your perspective why this didn't work. And I don't care about what that other person did. Because you picked them, right? So let's just get real honest. Until we get honest with ourselves, we can't make a change. Because this is about inside out. Even if someone has treated you terribly, horribly, heinously, it's not that they don't have accountability. But how did we end up there? Who are we entertaining, right? Because we can get approached by all manner of men and people. But who we choose to entertain is almost like an appetite. So, you like certain food. We have a certain appetite when it comes to men, right? And like what we like. So
that's true.
How did you contribute, even if it was raw? I didn't really pick them. We just kind of met and liked each other and we fell in. So that's the first thing. The other, I really need my ladies to just know and understand. And again, this is not personal. It's not emotional. Your child is not an asset to another man. Right? That's just facts. It's not that your child is lovely and beautiful. And I had a child who was 9 and going on 10 when I met my now husband. But I was very honest that because I have a child and I'm bringing not only the child, I'm bringing the child's father and potentially their family. So let's stop talking about, oh, my child's good and all this stuff, and you're going to get to see what type of mother I'm like or whatever. Because when I hear that, to me it means that you clearly don't understand the nature of men. Most men do not aspire to be a stepfather to another man's child and have to clothe them and house them, right? So if we can understand that from the get-go, then we can go in with some humility to the table and understand that what you are asking anybody who comes into your life in marriage to do is to be the stepfather to your child. So let's get that out the way, off the rip, and just let that land, because that's how it is. Because that man could go and find a woman who is equally as amazing as you but doesn't have a child and start his own family. And I'm going to get a bit of hate for this. I'm used to it. It's cool. Like, the child is not an asset. Right? You need to have a way to vet this man incoming into your life. And we need to stop giving all the game away. So when men are asking, oh, what do you like? Where do you like to go? How do you like to be, taken care of and whatever, we need to find subtler ways of expressing ourselves, but not saying to them, oh, I like chocolate and I like flowers and I like this and I like movies. Because now they have to guess. If you say, well, I'm looking for a man that's, kind, I'm looking for a man that's thoughtful, I'm looking for a man that's, sensible and steadfast and responsible. Now he's got to work out how to show you that he's kind, thoughtful, responsible, caring. But when you just tell them, oh yeah, I like this, that, and the other, they're just gonna, now you're just gonna be getting, cards and flowers and chocolates and whatever for a little while, because you've told him all the sorts. Right? And the next thing I would say is, you really need to work out who you are as a woman, because it's the woman that you are that he wants. He don't want your house. He don't want your car, he don't want your degrees, he don't want your money, he don't want your masters, he doesn't want your stock portfolio, or any of it. That is what we are looking for in men, the provision and the stability and all those things. He's looking for who you are, your essence, your spirituality, your femininity. Can you help him build his kingdom? None of that ain't got to do with anything you have, it's got to do with how you can add to his life. So we need to stop talking about material things. I know it's hard because a lot of us have been raised to be independent women and have money, but things are not what men value. It's who you are that they value. Who are you? And if you don't know who you are not going to attract the type of man that you really want, because you're going to try and come with the things and the stuff. And when you come with that energy, they can't find a place to be a man and do what a man should and wants and needs to be doing, because you've got it. The female crew and collective, which I used to be a part of, generally that's why you're single, because you've